right? If the process is reversible adiabatic, then gamma must be equal to 1.4, but here it is given PV raised to power 1.35 is equal to constant. Now let us try to solve this question. First of all, let us find how much temperature at each and every point is there. So if for process 1 to 2, I can write for process 1 to 2. You can write that equation is T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to power gamma C minus 1 upon gamma C. Gamma C minus 1 upon gamma C, right? Because here gamma for compression and expansion are not equal. So T2 by T1, T1 is given 298 is equal to P2 by P1 is given 5 raised to power 1.35 minus 1 divided by 1.35. So after solving this, you will get T2 will be equal to how much? T2 will be coming your T2 will be 429.5 Kelvin. 429.5 Kelvin. This is T2. This is T2. Now T1, T2 are known. T3 is given. Sorry, T1 is 283. Sorry, T1 is 283. T3 is given, and now we have to find T4. Now just remember that this equation, that is T2 by T1 is equal to T3 by T4. This equation is not valid here because the expression for gamma is different for both compression and expansion. It is different. So we cannot use this equation, right? We cannot use this equation. So we have to go with the basic equation that for process 3 to 4, for process 3 to 4, which is an adiabatic process, so you can write T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 raised to power gamma E for expansion minus 1 divided by gamma E. This you have to understand, right? Now here T3 is given how much? T3 is 298 divided by T4 is equal to P3 by P4. P3 is equal to P2, P4 is equal to P1. So this is P2 by P1, that is 5. It is given 1.3 minus 1 divided by 1.3. Don't take 1.35. For expansion, the relation is PV raised to power 1.3 is equal to constant. And if you solve this, then you will get T4. Right? You will get T4. If you solve this, you will get T4. Now, we have to find the COP. COP will be equal to refrigeration effect upon work input. Refrigeration effect upon work input. Now we have to find this refrigeration effect and work input. So first of all, let us find the refrigeration effect. So the refrigeration effect will be equal to your, this is H1 minus H4. H1 minus H4. This is the refrigeration effect, and this will be equal to Cp into T1 minus T4, and Cp is given as 1.009 into T1. T1 is 283 minus T4. T4 comes out to be 205.8. 205.8 Kelvin. T4 minus 205.8. So if you solve this, you will get that. If you solve this, you will get the refrigeration effect will be equal to how much? 78.14 kilojoule per kg. Kilojoule per kg. If you solve this. Now, the most important thing is to find work input. Just pay attention here. Which is equal to WC minus WT. So first of all, let us find WC. Right, first of all, let us find WC. Now, if the students will do mistake, which mistake? That they will write WC will be equal to H2 minus H1. And this is the wrong. This is wrong. You cannot write this. Why we cannot write this? Because the process 1 to 2 is not a adiabatic process. This is a polytropic process. If this process is a adiabatic process, then PV raised to power 1.4 is equal to constant must be the relation, because the adiabatic constant for air is 1.4. It is given. But it follows the equation PV raised to power 1.35 is equal to constant. So if this is an adiabatic, so this will be the relation, but the relation is PV raised to power 1.35 is equal to constant. That means this process is some polytropic process. This process is some polytropic process, and in polytropic process your heat transfer is not equal to 0. This equation, that is H2 minus H1, you are writing for a adiabatic process. You are writing for a adiabatic process in which you take that heat transfer is 0, and from steady flow energy equation, work required by the compressor will come out to be H2 minus H1. But this is not this process in this question is not a adiabatic, because if it is a adiabatic, then gamma must be 1.4. It is given that gamma is your adiabatic constant for air. It is given 1.4, but it is following PV raised to power 1.35 is equal to constant. So this is not a adiabatic process. This is some polytropic process of PV raised to power n is equal to constant. Just pay attention here. So you cannot use this formula. Now how to find the compressor work? Compressor work can be found that with the help of the formula of polytropic work done. So what is the compressor work? Is the work for polytropic process. Now what is the polytropic process work? This is N into NC, you can write into P1 V1 minus P2 V2 divided by polytropic index of compression minus 1. Now the student will ask that why you are using the polytropic work done for a open system. This formula is polytropic work done for a open system. And some of the students will confuse that, sir, you are saying that this is a closed loop cycle. Now, there also I want to justify, I want to explain that, but here with the help of question, it is better to explain here that this cycle is closed. This complete cycle is a closed cycle. But if you take only this compressor as a system, if you take only compressor as a system, then in compressor refrigerant is coming inside and refrigerant is going outside. If you take compressor as a system, that system is the open system. Don't confuse with the concept. I told you that open system or closed system will depend upon the system which you define. If I define this complete cycle as a system, then it is a closed system, because on this complete cycle no mass will enter into the system and no mass will leave the system. But if you take only compressor as a system, because we are finding the work for compressor, so our system now is compressor. In that compressor, mass is entering and mass is leaving. Refrigerant is entering and refrigerant is leaving. So we have to use the formula for your open system polytropic process. Right? Don't confuse with it. These are the basic, very good question. This is right. This is the basic. The students will do the mistake here. They are using P1 V1 minus P2 V2 divided by n minus 1. Directly they are using that relation, but we can't use that relation here because it is a open system if you take this compressor, right? I hope you understand. And what are the assumption of using this? Well, same, reversible process, right? That must be a reversible process. So we are using this, and if it is an ideal gas, so you can write this is equal to Nc into P1 V1, you can write mRT1 minus P2 V2, you can write mRT2 divided by Nc minus 1, divided by Nc minus 1, right? Now if I find, there is no term of mass here, we are not able to calculate the mass with the help of given data, so we are taking mass as unit, right? We are taking mass as unit. So this will be equal to, what is Nc? 1.35. Mass we are taking as 1, right? And R, if we are taking common, R for air is 0.287. R for air is 0.287. You know that, right? Now, don't confuse that, sir. Here gamma is not 1.4, so how you can write R is equal to 0.287. See, this 1.35 and 1.3 is for this process, not for the air. Air is still taking this gamma 1.4. It is given in the question, right? There 1.35 is because of the polytropic process. Don't confuse with it. R is 0.287. Somebody will ask that you cannot write Cp is equal to or R is equal to 0.287 when Cp is given. No, this R is 0.287, right? Don't confuse with it. Into T1. How much T1? 283, right? Minus T2. How much is the T2? T2 we find 429.5. Divided by 1.35 minus 1, right? 1.35 minus 1. We are solving this per unit mass. So this is negative, obviously, because this is a work done on the system, work done on the compressor. That's why it is coming out to be negative. So if you solve this, then work required by the compressor will be minus 162.17 kilowatt. Minus 162.17, you write kilojoule per kg. Per kg, we are using per unit mass, right? Don't confuse with the things, right? I'm solving the question one by one by making all your concepts to be very clear. Next is calculate work done by the turbine. So if you write work done by the turbine will be equal to H3 minus H4, this is again wrong. This you cannot write because here also the process is polytropic process. Here the relation is PV raised to power 1.3 is equal to constant. This is not a adiabatic process. If it is a adiabatic process, then the relation must be gamma is equal to 1.4. It is a polytropic process. Just make sure that it is a polytropic process, and heat transfer, for using this heat transfer must be 0, but this is a polytropic process, so the heat transfer is not 0 for a polytropic process. So you cannot use this formula H3 minus H4. Again, we have to use the formula for work done, that is for a polytropic process. For a polytropic process, we have to use the formula. And what is that formula? This is equal to N of expansion into P3V3 minus P4V4 divided by Ne minus 1. Again, if I take turbine as a system, that expander as a system, then it is a open system, not a closed. So that's why we are using the formula for open system, not a closed system. This complete cycle as a system is a closed system, but turbine and compressor itself is a open system. So you have to use the formula for open system, right? Don't confuse. Now this will be equal to Ne into, if I take per unit mass, RT3 minus RT4 divided by Ne minus 1. Put the formula, that is 1.3 into R is 0.287 into T3, how much? 298 minus T4, 205.8 divided by 1.3 minus 1. So the work done by the turbine comes out to be 115 kilojoule per kg. This is positive. Why positive? Because this is work done by the system. 115. Now it's very simple to find the COP. If I write here, right, it is very simple to find the COP. COP will be equal to refrigeration effect divided by compressor work minus turbine work. This will be equal to, how much is the refrigeration effect? 78.14. If you take the magnitude only, what is the compressor work? 162.17 minus how much is the turbine work? 115. If you solve this, then the COP will come out to be 1.65. COP will be 1.65. Right. So in this question we understand some of the important concept, that if it is not given that PV raised to power gamma and gamma is equal to 1.4, then these process 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are polytropic process, and for polytropic process you cannot write these equations. These equations are only valid for a adiabatic process when heat transfer is 0, right? You may write this equation H2 minus H1 if you consider the heat transfer in the polytropic process. You can consider it, right? It is very easy to find the heat transfer in this polytropic process. You can write, and you can, if you solve this, then the answer will be same, right? So better to go with the open system work formula, that is N into P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon N minus 1, and compressor and turbine are alone considered as a open system, but this complete cycle is considered as an closed system. So don't confuse that why we are using the open system work done formulas here and here, not the closed system work formulas, right? This is the basic concept how you have to go for the numericals like this. Don't go as of a sudden. If this type of question comes, then students will think this is a very easy question and we can go for it and solve. Just blindly they are solving the question and they will get a wrong answer. So this is the correct way of using or solving this type of the question where PV raised to power gamma and gamma is not equal to 1.4, then you have to consider it as a polytropic process, right? Now let us solve another good question on the reversed Brayton cycle. Again, as our practice, first of all let us make a TS diagram so that the things will be more clear. Suppose this is temperature, this is entropy, right? And let us say this is your process 1 to 2 adiabatic, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1, right? This is 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? This is a TS diagram, we draw it. Now let us start reading the question. In an aircraft refrigeration system, air is given, that means air can be treated as an ideal gas. Air is given, so we can treat it as an ideal gas. The air enters the compressor at this point. It enters the compressor at pressure 0.1 megapascal, P1 is given 0.1 megapascal, that is 100 kilopascal, right? Convert it into kilopascal. Temperature T1 is 4 degrees Celsius, that means 277 Kelvin. T1 is 277 Kelvin. And air is compressed up to 0.3 megapascal, that means P2 is given. P2 is given 0.3 megapascal. So if I convert it into kilopascal, so this will be your 300 kilopascal. P2 is given 300 kilopascal with an isentropic efficiency of 72%. That means the process in the compressor is irreversible adiabatic, right? It is irreversible adiabatic. So let us show this irreversible adiabatic process here. So the actual process is this 1 to 2 dash, 1 to 2 dash, right? So it is given that isentropic efficiency of compressor is 72%, that is 0.72, right? Air is then cooled to 55 degrees Celsius, that means T3 is given how much? 55 degrees Celsius. T3 is given how much? 53 degrees Celsius, right? So if I convert it, it will be 328 Kelvin. 328 Kelvin. And then expended in a turbine at 0.1 megapascal, okay, P1 at the pressure P1 with an isentropic efficiency of 78%. Isentropic efficiency of turbine is also given. How much? 0.78. So let us show this actual process in the turbine is this one, irreversible adiabatic. Let us say this point is 4 dash. So the actual cycle which is working is 1, 2 dash, 3, 4 dash, right? Now, the lower temperature air, the lower temperature air absorbs a cooling load of 3 ton of refrigeration. So the refrigeration capacity of this given as 3 TR. Then we have to find COP and net power input in kilowatt and mass flow rate in kilogram per second. This is the question, right? Now, before solving, what we have to find? We have to find the temperature at each and every point, right? This is a very good question in which isentropic efficiency concept will be there. So now let us start solving this, right? Start solving this. So, and this will be equal to 10.5 kilowatt. 3 into 3.5 is 10.5 kilowatt, right? This we know. Now, let us start solving this. First of all, start with the process 1 to 2. For the process 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is the reversible adiabatic process. So you can write that T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1. There is no mention of gamma, so we'll take gamma minus 1 upon gamma, and gamma is equal to 1.4. T2 we have to find. T1 is given how much? 277. P2 by P1 is given how much? 3. 300 by 100, 3. 1.4 minus 1 divided by 1.4. So from here you will get T2. T2 which is equal to, from here you will get T2. T2 will get 379.14 Kelvin. 379.14 Kelvin. T2 we get. But what we want to find? We want to find T2 dash, because actual process is T2 dash. How to find T2 dash? With the help of isentropic efficiency. We know that the isentropic efficiency of compressor will be equal to how much? In the compressor, actual work is more, ideal work is less. So it will be equal to ideal work upon actual work. Ideal work upon actual work, right? Ideal gas is given in the question, so I can write it in the form of temperature limits, right? So this will be equal to ideal work, how much? T2 minus T1, T2 minus T1, and actual work, how much? T2 dash minus T1. and this will be equal to 0.72, right? 0.72. So you can write it like this. Here you can write 0.72 is equal to T2 379.14 minus T1 is 277 divided by T2 dash minus T1 277. From here you will get T2 dash. This T2 dash you will get, and this T2 dash will be equal to how much? T2 dash, okay, it is not given. So, right, if you solve this you will get T2 dash, right? Similar we will do for the process 3 to 4. Just start doing for the process 3 to 4. For the process 3 to 4, what you can write? We can write T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 raised to power gamma minus 1 upon gamma, right? Gamma is not given, so we will take 1.4. So this will be equal to T3. T3 is 328. 328 divided by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 is equal to P2 by P1 is equal to 3 raised to power 1.4 minus 1 divided by 1.4. So from here you will get T4. From here you will get T4. T4 will be 239.6 Kelvin. If you solve this you will get 239.6 Kelvin, right? But we don't want to find T4, we want T4 dash. We want actual temperature, that is T4 dash, right? Now, how to find T4 dash? With the help of isentropic efficiency for turbine. We know that isentropic efficiency for turbine will be equal to, in turbine, actual work which we are getting is less than the ideal work which we have to get, divided by ideal work. Ideal gas is given, so I can write it in the form of temperature limits. So isentropic efficiency is equal to, actual work is T3 minus T4 dash, Cp into T3 minus T4 dash, Cp I will cancel, and ideal work is T3 minus T4. Isentropic efficiency for turbine is given 0.78. So 0.78 is equal to T3, that is 328 minus T4 dash divided by 328 minus T4, 239.6. From here you will get T4 dash, which is equal to 359 Kelvin, sorry, 259 Kelvin. We'll get T4 dash is equal to 259 Kelvin, right? Now we have to find COP. So COP will be equal to, we know COP will be equal to refrigeration effect upon net work done. This will be equal to refrigeration effect upon work required by the compressor minus work produced by the turbine. So let us find one by one. What is the refrigeration effect? In this, refrigeration effect will be equal to H1 minus H4 dash. Not H1 minus H4. Actual process is 4 dash to 1. So this is H1 minus H4 dash. It is a constant pressure process. So you can write Cp into T1 minus T4 dash. So this will be equal to 1.005 T1. How much? 277 minus T4 dash. How much? 259. Minus 259. This is your refrigerating effect, right? This is your refrigeration effect. Now, what is work required by compressor? WC. How much is the work required by the compressor? Work required by the compressor is, now we have to use the steady flow energy equation between 1 to 2 dash. This 1 to 2 dash is not a polytropic process. It is a adiabatic process, but irreversible adiabatic process. So we can use the steady flow energy equation. So this will be equal to H2 dash minus H1. H2 dash minus H1, and ideal gas is given in the question. So we can write that for ideal gas this will be equal to Cp into T2 dash minus T1. So this will be equal to 1.005 T2 dash, we find it, right? T2 dash is how much? This is 418.86. 418.86 minus T1 is how much? 277. This is compressor work. This is compressor work. Similarly, what is the turbine work? Work produced by turbine. Actual process is 3 to 4 dash. This is H3 minus H4 dash, and if it is an ideal gas you can write Cp into T3 minus T4 dash. This will be equal to 1.005 T3, how much? 328 minus T4 dash 259. From here you will get what? Work produced by the turbine. So if you put these three equations in the COP, then from here you will get that COP will be equal to 0.24, very less COP. COP will be equal to 0.24. COP will be equal to 0.24. Very less COP is there. That is equal to 0.24. Now what we have to find? Net power input. Okay, so we know that COP will be equal to refrigeration capacity upon power input. We know this, right? Now what is the COP? 0.24 it is equal to refrigeration capacity. How much it is given? 10.5 divided by power input. So if you solve this, then you will get the value of power input in kilowatt, because this 10.5 is in kilowatt. So the power input will come out to be how much? This is 43.75 kilowatt. 43.75 kilowatt. This is the power input. We need to find power input. Next is mass flow rate in kg per second. This is very easy. That mass flow rate, you know that refrigeration capacity will be equal to mass flow rate into refrigerating effect. So the refrigeration capacity how much? 10.5 is equal to mass flow rate into refrigeration effect is this one, right? Into 1.005 H T1 277 minus 259. Take care of units, right? This is kilowatt. This is kilowatt, and that's why I write here kilojoule, right? So from here if you solve this, then the mass flow rate comes out to be 0.58 kg per second. 0.58 kg per second. So with the help of this question will solve like this, right? If the isentropic efficiencies are given, first of all try to find all the temperature 1, 2 dash, 2, 3, 4, 4 dash. First of all try to find out all the temperatures. If all the temperatures are you will get, then with the help of the basic equations of COP and this refrigeration capacity and refrigeration effect, you will be able to find the power input or COP or mass flow rate or volume flow rate, anything they can ask, so you will be able to find it. So this is the way this kind of question of the Brayton cycle will be solved, right? Only this kind of question will ask in the paper, nothing more than difficult than this. So you will be easily able to solve this kind of a question if your basic concepts of RAC and thermodynamics are clear, then how to use the different equations and what are their assumptions, right?